What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and whenever I make videos or YouTube shorts or whatever the case may be, people always ask, what holster is in the back left corner of that video? What holster do you like for that firearm? What holster are you wearing in this video? That whole sort of thing. So I just thought I'd start, knocking out two birds with one stone and featuring it in the video. So the holster I use for this handgun that we're about to get into are these two holsters right here. One from Hog Holsters. Now this one right here is very interesting because it uses very, very thin, minimalist kydex. On top of that, they offer it where if you have an optic on the handgun and you insert it, which I'll show you in a little bit, it protects your optic. It also protects your handgun from resting on your skin and getting all that moisture. So it's actually a very genius idea. And on top of that, it's flexible. Therefore, it'll flex with your body, the shape and the contour of your body and handgun. So a very, very nice holster, and that is from Hog Holsters. Absolutely love it, and it uses a 3+ Ultra clip, one of my favorite. The next one is a very special holster to me because this was actually made for me from someone in the comments, a subscriber, a supporter of the channel. I really appreciate it, and I actually carry this handgun in this holster, so I'm sure he already knows exactly which one it is just by watching this video right now. But this uses the same Ultra clip, and what's nice about Ultra clips is you can clip them to basically anything. Actually, that one looks a little thicker. They're about the same. You can clip them in anything. Gym shorts, sweatpants, bathing suits, snow pants. I've literally carried in bathing suits. I've carried in snow pants. I've literally carried every single way I've ever wanted with Ultra clips. Then also this one has a claw, and he did a pretty cool pattern. I just told him to surprise me. So very, very cool. And the firearm we are talking about today is the Mossberg MC2 SC. And we're going to go into why this is a handgun that I carry that not a lot of people know that I carry. People know I carry the Hellcat, the Shield Plus, the Glock 26, the 27, the Shield and 357 SIG. Everyone knows that I carry that, and they get sick of me talking about it. But this is one of the handguns you don't hear me talk about that often. And here's it in that holster with that like optic block, which is actually really cool and really nice. Will prevent moisture buildup, that whole sort of thing. Keep it a little bit cleaner, a little bit more fresh if you ever have to use your handgun. But I doubt you'll be backing up and using your dot. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. The only thing I've done to this handgun is add Talon Pro grips. Even though the Mossberg literally has great texturing, I just love the Talon Pro grips. They just feel so natural and good in your hand. Also, the firearm is cleared and safety checked, and we are good to continue. The other thing I did was throw a Sealy Cat X Pro. Now, I think nowadays all the Mossberg MC2 SCs are optics ready, but the Cat X Pro by Sealy, people always say, oh, it's a Chinese optic. Well, so is Hollison. So is most of the cars you're driving, even if they're General Motors, Ford, Chrysler. A lot of them are assembled in Mexico. Parts are gotten from China. That whole sort of thing. And also, most of you guys like Hollison. Sealy at least is half the price and runs just as good, is just as reliable, maybe even a little bit more durable. So that is why I would go with Sealy optics. Absolutely love this optic, and you're going to look at it. It's going to look like a dot. That's all, because my camera causes like astigmatism or to blur it out. That's really a circle with a dot in the middle, line, 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 line. Very, very awesome dot, and you can also remove the dot in the middle of that circle if you want and have it empty in the circle, dot, 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 or hash, 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 open circle. Or you can make it just a dot. So, your choice. Awesome optic. I think 55,000 hours of battery life. I've beaten the crap out of a couple of my Sealys. Not a single problem. Now let's get into the Mossberg. The Mossberg comes in at about $420. That's what I paid for this one. 11-round flush mag, but it also takes a 14-round extended mag, and it also takes the larger Mossberg MC2 C mags, which is nice as well, to have a little bit more capacity and compatibility if you wanted to make this your home defense as well. But honestly, the ergonomics are what draws me to this handgun, and the fact that it's really, really well made. For me, the ergonomics are huge, especially on small, snappier handguns like Micro 9s. So I really like this. I get 2 fingers on the handgun with the flush mag, 12 rounds, 2 fingers, 1 tucked underneath, and this is my preferred way to carry. Like I said, in a holster like this, it is just an awesome, awesome setup. As you can see where the claw is, stops your, right on your pants. You have an awesome amount of room to go ahead and draw that handgun. Now it comes with a rail. Not sure what light options are even made for this handgun. I don't really care about it. I don't carry with the light. I carry with a handheld. Also, awesome memory pads right there. Helps you fight recoil. Helps keep that finger off that trigger. And it feels really nice. They did a really good job putting it in the right spot. Now, on top of that, forward serrations, which is pretty common nowadays. Rear serrations, they don't really matter. They just work. The finish is something I didn't think would be as good as it is, but it actually holds up. It's similar to like a Hellcat or an XDS, XDM, maybe even a little bit nicer, but so far it looks really, really good, even with some holster wear and stuff like that. So I'm really liking that. 3-dot white sights that you can basically co-witness with any optic that's low enough. That optic sits real low. If you can look at where that window sits on that slide, actually makes it a really nice setup. Now, normally I'd like night sights, and they do make Mossbergs with night sights right out of the box. I recommend getting those because it is harder to find sights for this handgun. So just buy it right out of the box, pay the little bit of extra money. Also, what's interesting about this handgun is you don't see anything for taking it down, do you? So what you do is you lock that slide to the rear, and then you press this. You press the back plate in, and it'll slide down. Then you remove the striker, and that allows your handgun to be taken down. So a little bit different takedown method, but actually it's pretty painless. It basically prevents you from having to pull the trigger at all, which you should be smart enough to clear your firearm prior to taking it down, but some people don't. Some people don't check their, their chamber, their bore. They don't check anything. They just go ahead and do it, and they don't think about it. For me, I like it, but at the same time, you're touching your striker more often, getting it more greasy. If you're cleaning it, you might have oil on your hands. Just be careful about potentially giving yourself the problem of light primer strikes. Now, another interesting about this handgun, well, first of all, everything functions. The slide shoots out with force, which I really like. The slide locks back. Now, if you like slide releases, obviously it runs just fine. I know my mic probably just cut out. I have a new one on the way, but it works great. Sometimes on a Ruger or cheaper handguns, it doesn't work as a slide release. But honestly, a really nice feeling handgun. But like I said, the number one thing for me mainly is the ergonomics and the way it feels in my hand. Also, the capacity and that whole sort of thing. It's similar to a Glock 43 in size. It's bigger than a Hellcat, bigger than a P365. It's just a little bit bigger. It's more of like a Shield Plus size, where it's like a perfect battle size pistol. Anyways, trigger, I really like it. The trigger guard, they left it pretty open for a gloved finger, which is nice because I do live in a state that gets cold. But the trigger is flat face and just feels really good. It also is just a really nice trigger for defense. We're not competition shooting. We're not race shooting. We're going to be under adrenaline, under stress, under chaos. This is the weight of a trigger you want. You want a trigger that stops right there. You want some resistance, right? And crisp, clean, maybe a little over travel. Reset, kicks back, decent reset. First trigger pull, very nice take up to that wall. Very clean, crisp. It's all you really need. I'm on point with this handgun. I do a lot of dry fire shooting where I use a laser, a bore sight laser. And then I also have this little, I think it's called an eye bullet, and it's just a little square, and you put it there, and you shoot it with the laser, and it goes off, and it tells you where you hit and if you hit. And that's a really nice way to train, so it's a great way to, sight in dots from a distance, within, I think it goes up to 75 feet, the laser. So a really nice way to go ahead and get your firearm sighted in and ready to go. Last thing, on this model right here, it was cheaper. It has the crossbolt safety, right? So right now I can pull that trigger. Now I can't. It's an interesting spot because it's like when you go to draw it, right, you can press with that finger and then go. If you like safeties, that's a great way to go. If you don't, if it's cheaper, it does not get in the way at all. I've never accidentally engaged it, anything like that. Never had a single problem with it. But it does give you the option to have a firearm with a safety on it. I'd rather have someone carry, even though I don't like manual safeties, I'd rather have someone have a gun on them with a safety, if that's what makes them comfortable, instead of not carrying at all. So, people are going to say what they want. It is the internet. Everyone's a genius. Everyone knows everyone's life. Everyone knows what's best for everyone else. Over here, it's not like that. I understand life and being real, and so I carry accordingly. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. The Mossberg MC2SC is not to be slept on.